So I never thought that I would be one to homeschool. I guess you could consider me a prime example of public school going right, because I graduated as valedictorian from high school and then I went on to obtain an Ivy League education. So you would think that I would go ahead and be willing to place my kids in the same system and, expect, I guess, similar results. But I've decided not to do that. And this video is about why. Hey guys, my name is Tasha, and if you're new around here, my channel is basically about me doing all the things, most of which are not considered mainstream, I guess. It all started with minimalism around 5 years ago, and then it kind of compounded into other things like YouTube, real estate, carpentry, and now homeschooling. So back to the video, how did we decide to take the homeschooling route within this past year? I want to start by saying this is basically a story of how my own personal life journey led me to this decision, and I'm only speaking from my own experiences and what me and my hubby have decided is best for our family. And that's what I want to share with you today. You can take it with a grain of salt or whatever the saying is, but I figured I could at least share my story and just, the reasoning behind why we decided to homeschool. We for sure knew from the get-go that we weren't sold on the public school system, and we're already pretty invested in Montessori. When William came along, I had already started researching about Montessori and we even set up our house to be like a Montessori classroom in his first few years of life. I even worked in a Montessori school office for 5 years and my kids were able to attend there. Definitely check out Montessori if you haven't yet, because it's all about letting the child decide how to structure their school day. They get to pick out what they're interested in and then learn about those things, and the teachers are basically a guide. So it's definitely different than public school. So from the get-go, we were all like, yeah, child-centered learning. That was our main thing, and that's what already started us on the path of not going the public school route. But then we ended up selling our house, and then we had to move to a new state and find a new school. We found another Montessori school, which was part of a chain, and at first we really loved it. It seemed like they had more resources than the previous school, but it's kind of like Toy Story. I don't know if it's Toy Story 4, where it's like Sunnydale. All the toys show up and they're like, yeah, Sunnydale or whatever. Sunnyvale, whatever it is. And they're like, yeah, this is great. But then by the end, the purple bear's trying to destroy all of them, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, it was kind of like that. So as the year progressed, there was a lot of turnover amongst like the assistant staff, and we were just like, this is not it. And we were used to our previous Montessori school, which was so much better. So it was like, we can't do this. And it got to this point where there was anxiety both in me and the kids when I would drop them off at school each day. And that's not what I wanted for, me or my family. Like, school should be a place that we are happy to go to and not scared that we're gonna get a phone call every day. So it was a whole thing. They was trying to keep our deposit when we said we weren't returning next year. If you want to learn more about that story, I could definitely tell you. At the end of the day, they made the right decision, but we had to talk it out because they was trying not to do the right thing. Anyway, we withdrew after a year, and then the summer comes and we're like, can we really see ourselves putting our kids in public school? And I just couldn't. But at the same time, looking for another Montessori school and having to like pay a second mortgage was like, there's gotta be another way to provide our kids with a valuable education. So I thought more about what I wanted my kids to get out of school, or just like learning in general, or education in general. And I thought about the fact that I never used my own college degree. That all the stuff that I learned in high school and stuff was like, I don't use it ever. I don't even remember it. Anything that I need to learn, I can just Google, right? I can find some YouTube videos about it. At the end of the day, all of that didn't really contribute to the person that I am today. Hey guys, editing Tasha here because inquiring minds want to know, are you using your degree? please do comment yes or no below. Let me know the reason. Let me know what you thought of college, whether it was worth it to you or not. And yeah, let's commiserate. Okay, bye. So for example, back in 2010, I was able to start a photography business. I didn't even know anything about photography until I got married in 2008. We had a road trip honeymoon, and my husband was like, why don't we get a camera with some of the wedding gift money that we got so that we could use the camera on our honeymoon road trip, which was all based on visiting different bubble tea shops along the way from New Jersey to California. That was, or however you want to do it. So that was the whole premise of our honeymoon, because there was this chain of bubble tea shops called Lolly Cup, and bubble tea back then wasn't like a whole big thing like it is now. And so we planned our whole honeymoon around. We also went to Grand Canyon. We did some other stuff too. But the main thing was like, yeah, let's get bubble tea in different states, because that's just who me and my husband are. If you want to learn more about that, we did do other things. We took a lot of good pictures because we got a nice camera. So that's what sparked my interest in photography. And so I learned a lot about it once I got to Cali. I did YouTube, I did reading to learn the basics. And then when we moved back to New Jersey a year later, I was able to start a business. And then I took workshops from different people in the wedding photography industry that were so successful already. And I was able to go from charging $1,500 per wedding to up to like $4,000 per wedding, because I was able to learn from the greats. So that was cool. And that all happened within I guess within the first year of starting my photography business, I was able to scale and earn a lot of money. So that's cool. And that, I didn't go to school for like 4 or 5 years, I don't know, to do whatever, to learn photography, to learn how to run a business. I just went to mentors that were already doing what I wanted to do. So back to the video. I learned how to create art out of the mundane. I was able to develop my people skills, get to be able to bring out the best in people, make them laugh, make connections, and then that would show through in the photography that we were able to create together, the art. So it was like a whole thing. I loved it. It was a great season of my life. There were hard times and stuff, lots of growing pains, but I wouldn't trade it for the world, because I came away from it as like a more, I felt like more of who I was supposed to be. And growing up, I actually was the photographer in my friend group. I was the videographer in my friend group. I'm the one that took all the photos. We even made skits. They're on YouTube somewhere. But we were just, having fun. And I had so much fun editing and creating. So that was my childhood. That's what I really like to do. And then I went and did what other people said I should do. And I went to college to be a computer engineer, which I am not. I'm not that. And that's okay. But if I just followed what I loved this whole time, I could have been creating much sooner, I could have probably been on YouTube much sooner, but it's okay. It's okay. It's better late than never. And now I am here. So hi, and thank you for being here too. So anyway, back to the video. I also started reading a lot more after college, because I realized that there are books out there that I actually like to read. I didn't like reading because of the fact that the teachers were telling me what to read. People predetermined what we needed to read in school, and that's what I didn't like. I didn't like having to make book reports and things like that either. Let me just blow my nose, sorry. I didn't like having to do any of that, because it was like someone else was telling me what I needed to do. And so I hated reading. But once I got to read things that I actually liked, then I started learning about all this stuff, and I got into minimalism, and then I eventually got into real estate, and wealth acquisition and building up your assets and stuff. So I am really the person I am today because I was able to finally pursue the things that really interested me. And when you're really into something, no one has to force you, right? No one has to force you to learn about it, because you're just like, I am a sponge. I just want to learn all the things. I love this, right? So you read, you practice, you create, you just do it because you love it and you love learning about it. You're like fully invested. So, isn't that just falling in love with learning because you're getting to learn the things that actually pique your curiosity? Isn't that like the whole point? Like why Why is this not like mainstream? I feel like it's always up to someone else telling us what we need to learn and what we need to do to be successful. But I see so many people that make so much money at their jobs, but they're so unhappy or they're burnt out because they have to work a lot. I don't know. How do you really determine, I guess, success? If you have enough time to pursue it and learn about it, you could find ways to make money doing something you actually enjoy doing. It's a novel concept, huh? I don't think that I was really ready for the real world after high school and college. I graduated from Ivy League university, so there was a lot of pressure, like, oh yeah, I'm going places, I'm gonna be doing all the things. But honestly, the reason, I don't know if I should say this, but the reason that I was really good at high school is because I was so good at memorizing. I was so good at memory. I have a photographic memory though. Like I can like read a page and then like I can visualize what's on that page. So that's what I would do for tests and stuff. So I don't know. I think I was just really good at regurgitating facts because that's what you have to do for high school and college. Even the SATs. I don't know if I should be saying this, but this is just my personal journey, okay? So people are like, oh yeah, you're so smart, but I can't remember those things because I didn't care about them like that, okay? And it has no bearing on what I'm doing now and the person I am now. I guess all this to say, like, I don't know that we have to spend 6 or 7 hours in school each day, you know, to learn what we really need to learn to thrive in real life. I don't believe it. Even with reading and stuff, like my kids, I never had to teach them how to read. I just read to them. Like I would just be like, oh, look at the street sign. It says stop, you know, like, and I would show them that reading was helpful to be able to navigate in the real world. And they were like, oh, okay, that's cool. I should learn to read too. And they kind of just did it. And people will be like, oh yeah, well, it's just your kids are smart. I don't know. I think they just really wanted to learn because they saw the value in it. And when they were ready, they did it. And now they're like voracious readers and I don't have to force them. Actually, they have to keep reminding me and my hubby to go to the library every week. And then they pick out what they want to read and they read like 30 books a week. But that was organic. That was organic. And they're the same with math too. Like it was all organic. It wasn't like I had to run through drills with them and make them memorize times tables. What is all this to say? I guess I'm just like, I didn't want to put them in public school because I didn't feel like they need to spend that much time to learn stuff. Because a lot of the stuff they even learned before kindergarten, it did not take 6 or 7 hours a day in school. And then when they get home, then they have to do more homework. And then it's like, when do they get to spend time with the family? Like a lot of these kids are so tired. I see so many tired kids because they stay up late to do all this homework and do all these book reports. And then they're supposed to go to school the next day and function. It all just doesn't make sense to me at this point. I like well-rested kids because they're pleasant to be around. So I like when my kids have gotten enough sleep each night and they're not like stressed out about tests and quizzes and like meeting some arbitrary standard. I like my kids the way that they are, and I would like to keep enjoying my kids, and I want them to also enjoy their childhood. I'm on this new journey where I want more, and I feel like human potential is limitless, and there's so many of us out there that aren't living up to our full potential because we're just settling for what everyone else is doing and just thinking this is just how it has to be. I just need to keep grinding. I need to just, you know, keep going even if I feel burnt out. There's no other way. Like we just have to accept what we're doing and that's it. I have no control over it, but I don't know. And I think that's where the depression, sometimes the anxiety, like it's in the back of our mind that we could be doing something else, we could be doing more, that this is not the life that we want, but we don't want to do anything about it to change the trajectory of our life. So anyway, all of this was years in the making, and I'm just like, I want something different for the kids. So this past summer, we just did ordinary things. Like I took them on my everyday errands. I took them to the post office, grocery store. Is that weird? I don't know. Like I like hanging out with my kids and I like taking them everywhere. I even took them to help me take care of our rental properties. And I would answer their questions about all life things. We'd go hiking, we'd go to playgrounds. We just stayed outside in the sun and we had so much fun and we connected. And I just love the connection that we've been able to foster and without having to worry about being overscheduled or rushing from this to that, or them being away at school for most of the day and then only having little time together at night. Homeschool really fits into our current lifestyle. We're blessed that hubby gets to work from home, and so he also gets to see them throughout the day. And yeah, I do work part-time, but it's for another real estate investor, which has been like a great opportunity because I'm learning a lot just by helping him out, and it's also helping me with my own property. So like I think we're shaping our lives in a way that there's enough time for everything. There's a balance, and we have a better relationship, a stronger connection with our kids. We are in the process of creating a life that we love, and I don't feel like I need a vacation or a break from it. I'm very intentional in what I say yes to and making sure it aligns with the vision that I have for my life. And this is something that I would like to also pass on to my kiddos. I want them to explore what really interests them. I want them to be able to pursue the things that pique their curiosity and learn and dive deep into those things. And in them, I feel like I see the kid that I wish I had the chance to become. They're both like so outgoing, so uninhibited. They're able to feel all their feelings without fear or shame, and everything is just new and beautiful to them. And that's what I want for them as they grow up. The knowledge is there, whatever they are interested in. There's ways, there's resources, and I want to just help them figure out how to pursue those things with the resources that are out there at our fingertips. We'll do our best to serve them, and help them to learn the fundamentals, and then they can take it from there, and they'll find themselves much sooner than I was able to find myself. And that's really what I want for them. So that's where I'm at. It's been a whole long journey, and this is the second time I'm recording this video. I'm trying to make it shorter than the first video. I don't know if it's going to be shorter. We'll see. We'll find out. But I mean, do any of you guys homeschool out there? If so, drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your experiences, and even like your favorite resources. And of course, I always thank you for watching. Thanks for sticking by me as this channel evolves, and I will see you next time. Bye.